Mr. Graham, we've been taking a few breaks from the EFL, so a lot to catch up. So we're not going to get into the nitty gritty, but things are going well for the teams we like. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. Well,
Portsmouth still have a little bit left to be desired.
And Leeds, apparently, if you need a goal at the death, just, ask a center back to come on and score you a fucking brace, right?
Not a problem. Or defensive midfielder for Arsenal.
Let's start the show.
Don't worry about it.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
You know, Mel, I'd like to tell him that it's not streaming while the music's playing, and yet he's still over there just dancing.
I like jamming,
I'm
man.
recording it.
I haven't been here for a while.
It's going to go on the YouTubies.
The YouTubies? Okay.
Why aren't we
This
streaming?
actually gets the most views of all of our YouTube videos. Is the EFL show.
How about that? Okay.
Why are we not streaming it?
Yeah, we just
We don't go live on this one. We just record it.
We just record it, yeah. Oh.
All right. Well, it's still performing, man.
Yes.
Why are you
You
trying to steal my thunder?
I have no idea why he's trying to squash your joy. He's
What
a joy
fucking-
squasher.
Negative aura points, bro.
Your vibe is killing us.
Hello and welcome to DU Does EFL, a completely biased brief recap of the rest of English football is told by two common American schmucks.
And that'll wrap it up. Thank you very much.
I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me, my co-host, Mr. Samuel Graham, that just, dance like nobody's watching, Mr.
Come
Graham.
on, bro.
Dance like
That's
nobody's
it.
watching.
Just live your life, man.
They're watching. They're just not watching right now.
Have fun.
How you doing, Mr. Graham?
Doing well.
Very good, very good. Of
Everything's
course,
good.
on the ones and twos, always wanting to point out my weaknesses, my partner, the person who means everything to me, my lovely bride, producer Mel. How you
You
doing
had a
over there?
couple of crumbs on your shirt.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I actually wiped it. Brilliant. There's nothing there, bro.
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your pods, and of course, streaming live every single Monday night. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Well,
Got it right this time, fuckers.
They can't get in touch live because we're not live.
All right,
Actually.
Okay.
So you didn't. It's at the Football Show on all the social medias and
Call to action that we're doing something live on Monday nights. Fuck, completely off.
and dfootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch by
Sure thing, DU Football Slow.
email. Thank you. Yep.
We are drinking the exact same shit we were drinking in the last show, so let's get right into it.
Hi, I'm Jacob Merle.
Championship Corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh no!
Now you see what Mel's gonna. Oh, you're gonna leave it in? Normally, what she will do is she will remove it, but then she'll put it right at the end of the show as an Easter egg, and John hears it, and that's it, because he listens to the end and goes, I'll get a text from Otis Anderson every once in a while that just goes, nice Easter egg at the end.
Yeah. It's funny. Who's that again?
Hi, I'm
Esteemed.
Jacob Merle, former Blues player and current DC United player. I'm a Manchester United fan, but DC is the better United. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I got to get that on the board so I can use that. I should.
It is on the board. It was used for no reason.
On my board, because I'm the one who now hits the intro. It has become a two-horse race in the championship, Mr. Graham. Leeds beat Sunderland at the death 2-1 today after going down 1-0, scored in the 78th and the 96th minute.
Damn.
They are now 2 points above the Blades. And the Blades have made quite a few moves while you were away. They picked up Tom Cannon from Preston North End, who's a former Evertonian, kind of like big, stocky goal scorer type, which is perfect for the fucking championship. They also got Bertrand Diaz back.
Oh, really?
On loan. Yeah,
All right.
from Southampton.
Southampton could use him.
He wasn't playing at all with Southampton.
I know he should be.
Yeah, exactly. So they've made a few moves, and it's like they're gonna go ahead and give it an old, honest to goodness push there for it. But with 13 left, I tell you what, if Leeds can find a way to be in the driver's seat by the last international break, I think we may have some wagyu.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah,
Could be.
After that, you have Burnley and Sunderland securely in third and fourth place as they sit 5 and 7 points above the rest of the playoff teams. And those playoff teams right now are currently Blackburn, and it says Watford, but I meant West Brom. And they hold on to the last two spots.
But also here, you said 5 and 7 points back from the top.
Oh, they're back from the top. Yeah.
Comfortably in the playoff discussion.
Right.
Now.
Yeah. My apologies there.
Yeah, I think they're actually more than that.
Let's remember my vision isn't actually 100%. So thanks for pointing out my disability.
It's not that.
I appreciate it.
It's not that. I'm just saying, DEI is not a thing anymore. So
okay.
I don't need to make concessions for that now.
Don't worry. They're gonna eventually make protections for old white men, so then I'll be perfectly fine. Thank you. Anyways, Coventry, Bristol, Wednesday, and Watford round out the rest of the top 10, and they are all still very much within striking distance. The big one though is at the bottom. Luton now sitting dead last. As Plymouth has had a little bit of a push, and Derby are the three teams now in the relegation spot. Hull and Cardiff sit just above the drop, but not Pompey, who have now won 2 in a row, and they've been very timely. They've, in January and February, have had 4 wins, 4 losses, and 2 draws.
But they've been winning at the right times.
Their losses have been when the teams around them also lose. So there's been none of that kind of 6-point swings, and now they're 7 points up. Yeah, and they're sitting in 18th place right now.
Their performances, though, in general, have left a bit to be desired. Because I have checked in on Pompey, and I want them to stay up.
Very much so.
To make sure we have a proper South Coast Derby next season.
And I just want them in the championship.
Southampton will be relegated from the Premier League.
Yeah, I want them in the championship. That's where they belong. It's where they belong.
100%. I'd love to see them back in the Premier League at some point, but they need to be in the championship. We need to be able to tune into a South Coast Derby.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
As well. So I want them to stay up. I still need them to give me a bit more, though, to convince me they're going to do it, if that makes sense, because they've been so kind of up and down this season. They'll have a good, 3-1 solid win and then turn around and lose 4-0 to Millwall or whatever.
Yeah. I'm with you.
What the fuck are you doing?
A couple of good ones.
Stop getting out of your own way.
Like they beat Cardiff, they beat Stoke, they just recently beat Oxford, who's surprisingly above them in the table. It looks like Oxford's going to probably stay up, which is a bit of a surprise because they haven't been in the championship forever, and they got in through the playoffs. It kind of felt like they were going to be the one to definitely go back down.
Yeah,
pretty interesting. Luton's very concerning,
and it is absolutely, especially for the size of club they are. Obviously, so much was made when they made it to the Premier League of the size of club, the size of stadium, the size of this, the size of that, kind of how I felt in my consultation.
Right.
To be honest. We were just talking about the size of things.
There's shrinkage!
Yeah, it was a little chilly outside, but we could, kind of move past that.
Right.
But we've said time and time again, right, a cup run could galvanize a team or it could destroy a team because now you're focused on making money and doing these sorts of things, and it could hurt you. But a cup run for somebody like Plymouth is huge.
Just got them out of the bottom of the table.
Taking Liverpool down, that has obviously translated and galvanized that squad, right? They've gotten a couple of results. Luton don't have any of those things. They're just floundering. And that's the scary bit, right? Yeah. Is just like everything is negative surrounding the club at the moment.
Yeah, bit of a funny,
and you live in Luton.
Yeah, a bit of a funny
which is
bit
tough.
that happened. Plymouth let go of a player last name Forsyth, and he got picked up by Blackburn. They lost 2-1 this weekend to Blackburn. Forsyth scored the goal. And in proper shithousery, celebrated right in front of the Plymouth coach.
Yeah.
Right to the box, right in front of him. And
I saw that. His fucking arms up like, you sold me. Fuck you. Yeah, good.
that's what you get.
Where was Curtis Jones at to beat him up? This is what I want to know. Apparently he doesn't care for those things.
Apparently it was their cup final that day. Birmingham City are starting to run away with League One as they now have a 9-point lead.
As they should. They're a massive club.
And a game in hand on Wycombe and Wrexham. I'm sorry, on Wycombe. Wrexham and Stockport are just behind them in third and fourth. And Huddersfield, and are you ready for this? Leighton Orient is in sixth place currently, baby.
Come on, you hoes.
Come on, you fucking O's. The team that should have beat City.
They were in charge of City for longer than Christos was in charge of DC United.
Yeah, they were. Hell yeah, they were. And with that, for the rest of the playoff spots, you have Charlton, Bolton, and Reading are all still right there in the hunt, mostly separated by goal differential, or in the case of Reading, 1 point behind those other three teams. So they're all on the same
Reading
points.
need to go back to the championship ASAP.
Yeah.
They need the money big time.
I think they still really need to get rid of Die Young first. And
100%. But they need the money. They need the revenue because they're one of the clubs in tremendous PSR scare.
And by the way, Colin's been sending me a bunch of stuff. And Colin, yes, we're going to talk about it. I kind of wanted to wait for you to come back, but I also knew tonight's DU show was going to run long. So this is a more abbreviated version of EFL because of that. So in the next week or two,
I'm just happy to be out of the house, man. If you want to talk about it, let's talk.
The next week or two, we're going to talk about it a little bit more. I'm trying to. This is a whole new world.
There's barely any Premier League in March.
Yeah,
let's just do it then.
Yeah, there we go. We'll do it then. And also, producer Mel hasn't done the late night in a while, and I know my girl's on a shot clock, so I'm looking out for her. We got this. Now, worth mentioning, Wigan are only 6 points from safety. And here's another one. The posh Peterborough are only 3 points from fucking safety right now.
Yeah, Peterborough perennially are Championship League One kind of club. That
not a League Two side.
For them to drop down would be a big fucking deal. Wigan, on the other hand, are probably traditionally a League One. Sometimes League Two side.
Right.
We obviously saw them in the Premier League for a while. Obviously,
and they made it to the championship a few times.
They won the FA Cup with against City under Roberto Martinez back in the day.
Yep.
But and the favorite club of our Ben Kay of this parish, our groundskeeper friend.
As we're getting on to them right now.
But they, if your nickname's the posh, I'm probably against you anyway at this point in time, to be completely fair.
Huh? I wonder if the posh end up suffering the
a lot of Dropkick Murphy being played in my house right now. A lot of working man's music,
Oh, I wonder if they suffer the same fate as Forest Green Rovers. They decide only posh people, as Forest Green Rovers decides only eating grass and
only vegans. One of the best videos I've seen over the last 2 weeks. I've been off of actual work. Last week I've been off of actual work. One of the best videos I've seen was a ginger man walking up from his car. And his wife go, "Where have you been?" And he goes, "Shh, shh." She goes, "Don't shush me." And he goes, "Fucking be quiet. Listen." And it's two people down the road screaming at each other. And he goes, our neighbors over there, the vegans? She goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I threw a Burger King wrapper in one of their cars when I was walking the dog." He's just listening to them fight about whose burger wrapper it was.
Love it.
That's. I think the posh are going down that road.
Yeah. Accy are still safe by 4 points in League Two, despite a key loss. Morecambe beat them at home 2-0.
Fucking dicks out, baby.
The Shrimps are now only 3 points behind Tranmere.
I had my shrimp out.
Yeah, might have
recently.
It's going to be a tough
Subscribe to the Patreon and you'll find that.
Do we want
not my shrimp?
Yeah.
The story about my shrimp.
Right. Do we want the Shrimps to survive at the expense of Liverpool's most favorite club going down? It's a tough one, isn't it?
It is a tough one.
Because we sure as fuck don't want Accy going down.
No, but the next time we go to England, if they do fall out of the league, it'd be about £10 cheaper for a ticket.
I think we know somebody for an Accy game. I have a feeling we get into
No. I'm talking about Tranmere.
Oh, yeah, to go see Tranmere. Yeah,
Yeah, we got to
fair.
make a pit stop on the way up to Accrington.
Carlisle are now are 6 points from safety, and they're in dead last, and it's not looking good for them at all.
I don't know much about them as a club, to be honest.
Yeah.
Carlisle, they're just very quiet.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to be said one way or the other. I'm not sure they've ever made it up past League One.
Yeah, I don't think they have either.
Ever.
No.
So it's a shame. You never want to see a club lose their Football League status. But at the same token, doesn't appear like they're trying to make waves and do anything. So,
Right. Fair.
meh.
Yeah.
Kind of indifferent to that, to be honest.
Walsall have it all but locked up. They have an 11-point lead with 13 matches left, so they're going to have an epic collapse. Now, the one that's interesting is that there are 5 teams all within 3 points from second down. So that includes Notts, it includes Port Vale, it includes Doncaster, and I know who's currently in second? Wimbledon.
I like that. I want Wimbledon to come up.
I really want Doncaster to get up just because of the run they made last year.
I think I want Port Vale to come up more than anyone.
Okay. Just because of Port fucking Vale.
Yeah. Solely for that reason.
That's it. And then, of course,
I've hated teams for worse. I've liked teams for less.
I mean, you hate Gillingham because of a fucking podcast and an imaginary
About a
team.
fake football club. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm in.
Final thing to mention
Port
is
fucking Vale.
Final thing to mention is because we talk about the cup, the League Cup on here is the final has been determined. It will be Newcastle against Liverpool.
Yep.
And they, not for nothing, they also play each other in the league as well.
Yep.
Right around there. So this ought to make for a rather cagey cup final, I would imagine. Don't you think?
It's all poised. If Newcastle come out the blocks like it did last weekend, Liverpool's going to have a lovely old time.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, but
or if they play the way they like to play against you, Liverpool's going to have a hell of a fucking time.
I think Newcastle are keeping an eye on that cup final. I think Eddie Howe realizes his employers are going to require some silverware.
I think Newcastle supporters are desperate for some silverware.
Oh,
this
absolutely,
is
they
gonna be massive
are
for them.
Oh yeah. It could be huge. I mean, it garners in that it's what Pep Guardiola was the first trophy he won was this one when he came to England. The idea is that winning something, whatever that is, right? Something garners a winning mentality. Goes, oh shit, we can do this,
right?
And it gives you that little boost, that little bit of confidence. Yeah, that goes. It just breeds that culture in the club.
Exactly.
Right? And that's sort of the idea. I think it's vastly more important for Newcastle than it is for Liverpool.
Yeah.
But Liverpool find themselves with a chance at a treble.
Right. Yeah.
Plymouth Argyle saw to it that it wasn't the treble.
Right.
But they've got a great shot here. First in a Champions League group phase. They're obviously got a 7-point lead on Arsenal. They have some tough games, coming up. They have a tough period. Liverpool started with the Merseyside derby, of course, but they still have to play United again, which we've already seen. That's the only game United cares to play. They still have to play Arsenal at Anfield. Granted, fine. They've got Newcastle in the league, as you just mentioned a second ago. They've got City again. There are games Liverpool can drop points.
Yeah.
So they'll want to get this over the line just as much to say, hey, we can fucking do this.
Right.
Right?
It breeds confidence.
It breeds that confidence, that winning mentality, and it gets Slot a little bit of pressure, I think, off of Slot.
Yeah.
That said, okay, you already brought in a trophy in your first fucking season when we expected to be rebuilding. Right. It just goes, oh shit, we're doing something here. Right. Despite, I guess you could say they may have some sort of imposter syndrome in terms of the new manager moving a couple of players on, doing this, that, the other. Right. It this would go, no, we deserve this.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be an interesting fucking game. I'm actually quite excited to watch it, to be honest. I'm anxious to see how Newcastle approach it.
Yeah,
as
agreed. Well, that's going to wrap it up, Mr. Graham. Any parting words?
Nah, not really.
Right.
It was fairly, easy days in the old lower leagues.
Oh, next up is Injury Time, where we're going to preview the weekend's action. We're going to talk about our fantasy teams, check in on our adopted club, and talk about the beers we've been drinking. Should you want to support the show, Mr. Graham, how do you go about doing that?
One last time for the night. It's patreon.com/DFootballShow. Just sign up to that $1 tier. You get our preview show, Injury Time, that Sam just mentioned. You also get Sound Check, which is our actual sound check. We're checking the sound. We're catching up in our daily lives with each other from only seeing each other once a week. And normally we have some pretty fun and interesting stories and shit.
And sometimes it's
hella zesty.
A lot of times it's hella zesty. We, usually refer to Injury Time as DU After Dark because it can get a little spicy.
Till next week, everybody.
Good night.